I'm following up my last video, which suggested that we might all pay a little more attention to the here and now. Just wondering how you're getting on in terms of doing your best to ensure that you know where you are and you know what you're doing. I'm wondering, more to the point perhaps, how many things you and I have missed since the last video. Now, there's no merit in beating ourselves up and wondering how many things have I actually missed in my life, how many opportunities have passed me by whilst I was totally blind to them, thinking that I knew best, that my normal mind knew best. Psychology, all the way back to 1932, and it has been proven again and again and again by research over the years right up to the present moment. Psychology tells us that we only perceive what we expect to perceive, and therefore only do what we expect to do and achieve only down to our expectations. I say down to our expectations because those expectations of ours were set by other people, doing their best, albeit with the best will in the world, to us during our formative years, and in particular during the first 3 years of our lives. Therefore, we are actually pre-programmed to miss the opportunities that life throws before us, possibly every day of our lives. You never know when you are going to meet the next most important stranger in your life. Now, what I mean by that is that there are people in our lives at the moment who are of ultra importance to us. They were once strangers until we were alert enough to stumble across their importance, or simply tuned in enough to pay attention to them or get to know them at the particular juncture in our lives in which we stumbled across them. But how many people who might have changed the course of our lives, for the better or indeed for the worse, it has to be said, how many people have we actually simply missed because we weren't there? The point is that in our normal default state of mind, we are perpetually off our guard. If you're off your guard, as the good book says, you have no idea when the burglar is going to break into your house. As the good book also says, if the housekeeper did know at what time the burglar was going to call, he would have stayed up and caught him in the act. Now, we've to stay awake. We don't just have to wake up, we actually have to stay awake. Because our life is made up moment to moment. Where we're going in the next moment depends on how alert we are and what we're doing in the here and now, this moment. And therefore we need to be on our guard at all times. The interesting thing about being on your guard is you will suddenly realise that life is bloody wonderful. There's so much fun to be had. There's so much enjoyment to be enjoyed. There is so much flow to be flowed in. All we have to do is open our eyes and see what is before them.